Welcome everybody. I know your time is valuable, so we're going to get right to it and present the program, answer questions, and then get you on your way for dinner. So, John Rostash is actually filming this, so wave to his camera. So anyway, and it's going to be taped, and it'll be. Are we live streamed now?
Yep.
We're live streamed, so we can't go back. So, but this will be. On our city website, Facebook page, and YouTube also.
Yep.
So if you want to,
Go back and watch it.
go back and watch it, or actually share it, and so you get on camera and you'll be famous. So anyway, so I'm Jeff Reesa, Jeff Wagner, City of Bucyrus, John Rostash also in the city, and we've got Steve from RMH, they're the contractors. What's your last name, Steve? Rosper. R-O-S-P-E-R-T?
Yes.
It's R-O-S-P-E-R-T. Dylan Wyatt is from McKeever and Associates. And these guys are going to kind of walk us through everything that's going to happen out there, when it's going to happen, and questions will be directed to them. And then, of course, if you have questions later after this, you can certainly contact us up at the office here too. So.
And I think if you all saved that letter you got, it has RMH's corporate office number to call. If something comes up that you need to get a hold of one of the guys or Steve to let them know you might need something special to get out of your driveway for whatever reason, to make special arrangements, call into the office and they'll get with Steve. And if you don't hear anything, call up here and get with me, and we'll track them down and make sure we make you be able to get in and out that day for if there is an emergency, that's something you need.
And make sure you all sign in with your phone numbers.
They did.
They did. Okay, great. So, all right. Well, who wants to be first? Dylan, Steve?
You can have that at start with how you're planning on doing things.
Well, the plan is, and this was set forth in the bid, the construction sequence, and we plan on building it like it was designed. Basically, we're going to start with the easterly side
Steve,
of Edgewood.
right there, if you want to kind of point as you talk,
Okay.
that's up to you. If you don't, that's fine. You can kind of show them what you're talking about as you go.
Yep. Well, we're going to start with the curb and gutter on the easterly side of Edgewood, and remove and replace all of that. We're going to leave the middle section, the pavement in, and then we're going to start on the westerly side. Same thing. Remove the curb and gutter, and remove and replace it, and then also, replace the aprons too while we're at it. And then, basically, starting on the south end, we'll be removing pavement and stoning it. Whatever we remove that day, we're going to have to try to stone it and proof roll it, compact it, and stone it. And we're just going to move south to north, moving and installing stone. And then when that's all complete, we'll asphalt the road. And then the last step, though, is restoration of lawns. So that's pretty much it.
When you get both sides of the curb and the apron done, and the aprons are their entrance to their driveways, when you stone the one side, then you'll start taking out the other side. What do they do when you're doing their apron? Were they be able to? Where are they going to park when they're,
Well, yeah, it could be an issue, but depending on where we're at, it'd be great if you could park it in maybe the neighbor's driveway.
How long does it take to cure? When you do an apron, is it a day, 2 days?
I think we had restricted no more than 5 days of a driveway being cut out. So that would include tearing it out, and then if they're allowed access after it's tore out, via stone put in, and then the concrete gets poured, and obviously your access is going to be restricted when the concrete gets poured, and then that gives time for the concrete to cure then. So no more than 5 days at a time.
Are we using MS around that? Or You see one?
I believe we were MS on that. I can tell you here.
What do you do if you can't get in your driveway for 5 days?
I mean, it's not like we have side streets to park on.
No, there's
in
quite a
close
distance in
proximity.
between.
Well, when you tear it out, you'll put stone in.
Yeah.
So they can use it.
Oh, you can still use your driveway?
Yeah, it's just when they lay that concrete,
Okay.
then it's gotta stay off for, depending on what concrete you're using, it could be a day or maybe 2 days.
Yeah, I'm
But-
assuming this is MS concrete, so how,
So basically, after we pour it, you need to wait 24 to 48 hours after we poured it to drive on. So that'll be the big problem, basically, for the driveways then.
You tear out an apron, you're not gonna leave it half tore out and then they can't use it at all. If you tear out an apron, you're gonna tear it out, put stone in before you leave that day, so they can continue to get in and out.
Right.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay?
Yeah, how far are you going to cut back on the apron
it was like
from the
feet.
the gutter?
Feet.
Several of us have
Probably
newer driveways.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have brand new driveways.
Yeah.
It'll be, so a lot of these are 6 to 8 feet
Into our driveway?
from the curb line back.
Back of curb.
Yeah.
That'll be the first section of our driveway.
Do you
Correct.
have to go back that far? If they just
Not-
did it,
Are you gonna
Not-
concrete it? You aren't gonna tar it, are you?
we're just gonna put.
Those are
tar down and
concrete.
put stone. I'm
No,
just-
those are,
No, it would go back.
Talk to Jeff.
It would go back in its concrete, but if they just did it, why would we rip it back that, would you have
That's-
to tear it back that far?
Well, generally you want to go to first saw joint.
Okay.
yeah, you don't want to have to put an extra joint in the
Okay.
concrete in the driveway.
Well, then,
That would,
Advantage that we have.
that would leave about that much before you get to our first solid.
Yeah, it's about 8
Because
feet.
we have 2 sets of solids, and we have a small place where we feathered it out. Okay, where we feathered it out is only about that wide.
Well, that might be enough, depending on the
Yeah, and that,
condition.
yes, that could be
And-
enough
and
if
you'll
you're,
put it- And you'll put it back exactly like we had it.
yes.
What about that spacer that we?
Well, they'll put that in, that's just an expander.
Expansion, okay.
Yeah, they'll put that expander back in.
and you'll let the homeowners know,
It-
like
Okay.
tomorrow you're scheduled for concrete. You'll let them know a day ahead of time possibly?
Yeah, we'll deliver a notice
Okay.
24 hours in advance. I think that's what it said.
Will the height be the same on the curb? Because if you were to look at it now, like those of us who had it redone, it's not the steep, okay, folks, we have a Corvette we pull in and out of that driveway, and we don't want to be dragging
We
the
don't wanna
front
drag
of
the bottom.
it. When we had it redone with that in mind.
Just store it in my house, that'll do it.
Leave the keys.
With the keys.
This looks like it gets put up on blocks earlier.
But, I mean, seriously, we don't want to find ourselves where we are damaging the front end of the Corvette every time we pull it in and out. When we paid to have it.
Why don't you,
Yeah.
give us your address, and then we'll come out, before we
Yeah.
start working.
And the road is being put back where it is today. So it's being removed and replaced as it is today,
So
to
it's
the
not
same
gonna be swept back.
elevation. Correct.
Swept back.
Okay, well then.
I like Mr. Reeser's idea, though. Please come look
Yeah, we'll
and see. We'll give our.
Yeah, before you leave, we'll make sure.
So everybody will have that smooth entrance into their driveway,
That's the
not going
intent.
up over like a bump.
Because you have normal curb cuts that are, the bump is an inch,
That's, yeah, about an
inch and a half, yeah.
Okay, that's about what.
Now, will the rest of the curb be the swept back, or will it be
No,
a straight up
it
and
is gonna
down
be the
curb?
straight curb, the
It'll be a
normal
straight-
6-inch curb.
Just like on the top end of
4-inch curb?
Edgewood. On the south end of Edgewood, they have.
The north end of the street has 4-inch, or I'm sorry, the south end of the street has 4-inch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a 4-inch curb, yes.
So that'll all be the same then.
Yeah.
If we have a tree near the road, is that tree gonna be gone?
Shouldn't be, because you're only gonna be excavating back, what, a foot past what the existing curb line is?
Yeah.
About how far back do you to form the new ones?
Well, foot and a half.
I got some bushes out there.
He's just trying to get rid of his tree, that's all.
How large is it? How large is it?
8, 10 inch pine.
Pine, okay.
You can have it if you want.
No,
Transplant it.
he said the height, Roger,
Shut up.
that's about 20 foot.
We know each other.
He lives right across the street from me.
Yeah.
Known
You
him
buy
for-
it at a Christmas tree?
I've known him for how many years?
We don't damage the root stand and cause a, so.
Yeah. So basically, you're going to
Or
take
you
all
want
the
us to damage
mailboxes
the
out
root.
too,
Are those,
because they're right
tight?
up
They're right up.
Yeah,
a foot
we have to-
from the edge of the curb. So
Bill, what was your question?
they'll have to destroy the mailboxes and replace them.
Well, probably remove.
Take 'em out.
Remove
Remove
the
'em
mailbox.
or whatever.
And put it back in.
So how do we get mail during that time?
Why worry? You don't get your bills.
From the city anyway.
Yeah, tell that to water
I
department.
can see to the neighborhood jester.
Troublemaker.
Yeah, he's sitting right back there.
bill, remember why, I didn't get my mail.
No, seriously, I mean, how,
Mr. Wagner,
has the post office been involved? How are we going to get our
how do we
mail?
usually do that? Do you know, I mean?
I'm not sure how you've done that, and
sometimes we set up like gang mailboxes at one end, but it's a ways to travel, to pick up your mail, but that's one way to do it.
Are they all that close to the curb that they're gonna have to come out for them to do
Yeah.
the curb?
Basically,
They're all
yes.
within a foot of the back of the curb.
I mean, it's truck delivery, so,
They'll just set a new one in a bucket with concrete and put a temporary one there.
so they haven't thought about
We
that.
have, yeah, that's a good question, that's why we have, that's why we have this meeting. So, why don't we work on that and get back with everybody and come to, what we've
but
got.
that's probably gonna be the best option, is set up like a bank of them at one end of the street.
Right, well, that's it, we get
But-
traffic through there, might eliminate some of the traffic. I mean, garbage days are always a pain,
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing too, garbage days.
mails every day.
We won't get your garbage, we promise.
Yeah, they'll always have one side of the street open, whether it's the garbage truck or mail, or we're gonna have to figure out about mailboxes.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Is this set in stone, the way it's set up? What I'm getting at, putting speed bumps in.
They travel so fast.
They travel so fast.
And we have grandchildren.
It's just like 3 or 4 speed bumps. One
Well-
up there on the west side.
Don't make them too high.
He won't get his Corvette.
The only problem with putting speed bumps in, and I understand your reasoning, is for our plow trucks to come down through there then,
Yeah.
and they'll hit those. I'm not too sure, unless we can come up with a different idea, but we typically don't like, we have put one in before, it was over on Arch Drive, but we don't really recommend them or like to put them in.
Doctor in the back.
Yes, yes, sir, his whole family, yes.
I'll throw back the shit.
I think that,
Are you
I don't
starting
know.
at Silver Lake and then going north? Okay.
Yes.
Because we had already done
Yeah, you're starting
Yeah.
here, right?
to the,
Yeah, basically,
John?
what needs to be done.
Yes. Never mind, we got it.
Man. just fell asleep, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's what we wanted.
Yeah, so they're gonna start up here, right?
At that joint, yeah, yes.
Yeah, Silver Lake Drive.
So you're starting from Silver Lake and heading north?
Correct.
Yes.
You're starting on the east side, I think is what you said.
Yeah, curb and gutter, aprons on the east side,
Okay.
under drain. But complete that, the hard surfaces on, to the west side. So,
When's this supposed to start?
first couple weeks of August, we're shooting to start. the rain set us back on other jobs, and we're just trying to get off of them to get to this one. So that's kind of where we're shooting. We have a completion date, I think it's September 30th or something like that.
Yeah, 28th through 30th.
Okay,
Yeah.
somewhere at the end of
Yeah.
September, so
Yeah.
we need to get going on it. So,
Do you restore as you go? I mean, just for example, mailboxes. Do we all have to wait till you're completely done to have, I mean, where we're at, we're gonna be at the tail end, but, I mean, like those up on the hill, so to speak, from us, are you gonna restore as you go, like yards and put mailboxes back in? Or are you just gonna, we all get to wait till the same day to get them put back in?
well, that's what we had in mind. I mean, we will probably backfill everything, but as far as the restoration, lawn restoration, we'll probably wait till the end for that.
But you'll backfill behind the curb.
Yeah, we'll backfill behind the curb.
And then at that point, can you set the mailbox back up then?
The mailboxes, we need to talk about
Yeah,
that,
we're gonna have to
because
talk
for
about
safety and getting in and out, I mean, with
Yeah.
paving, everything else, I mean, that's gonna be, might be kind of tough for.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk afterwards and
Yeah.
plan that we'll get back with everybody?
Yep.
Maybe the guy would park at the end of the street and walk the mail down.
That'd be the best, I mean, we
If he
could
would do
talk.
it, I don't know, can they be made to do that?
Talk to the post
Yeah,
office
I was
into
gonna
doing
say
that.
that.
Well, when we
Well, he walks over on the other side of Hopley.
Arrowhead.
I didn't think it was you did.
when we had the house put in,
Remember what we did on Arrowhead?
there was,
last time?
all of our
That wasn't us. so
curb
I don't
stops
know.
shut off.
No, it was also,
and
it was,
stuff.
yeah,
Brain
Utilities.
center.
Brent
Yeah.
Center, okay.
Okay, they're only a short distance away, and you're probably gonna dig every one of them up, going up through there.
It's about 2 foot
Yeah, they're only about a gate far from the curb.
on the edge right
You're
now.
gonna, yeah, because mine got hit when we first put them in,
Yeah,
and it, sorry to say it, but it took the city 2 months to fix our water stop. I mean, it leaked. It was nice because we had the greenest little spot in the whole community, but it leaked and it leaked and it leaked, and, you know, I'd hate to have you tear them all up and then, you know, not be able to get them put in.
well, they'll all be oopsed before we get there, but, yeah, thank you for bringing that up, though, it's definitely notable.
Tell them what Oops is.
That's a Ohio Utility Protection Service. They'll be marked. The city will mark those for us.
They will mark them all. So we'll get it.
Hopefully.
Might be 2 months after they're done, but.
No offense, but I've seen nobody writing anything. Are you guys taking notes of what we're asking?
on tape.
Or are you just gonna go back and
Well,
look
they
at the
We
tape?
can go back and watch it, but.
I remember things.
Because there's several things that you don't know about, or, oh, we just now thought about that, and I don't see anybody writing this
Well,
down.
I think
so.
what Jeff said was, we'll take the sign-in paper and we'll write some notes beside your address, so we know exactly what we're,
Okay.
the main things, the mailboxes and things like that, that we're gonna have to.
The mailboxes, the curb at their house,
Yeah.
the tree.
And tree, yeah, well,
Yep.
get your addresses before you leave, and then I'll follow up. As far as the mailbox, I'm gonna have to get with the postmaster. And then we did a similar project on the other side of town, last year before. So we would have had the same type of situation with the mail. I don't remember that even coming up as an issue, so I'll have to see what ordinance did.
Did they have
They-
mailboxes there
they
by the
may have had
road,
it
or
at
did
the
they have
house.
them at the house?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up
That may
right
be
now.
why it
It's on
never
there,
came
but I
up.
don't- yeah.
Yeah.
I'll check, I'll drive up there and check, so.
I'm just gonna
Now, when
Google
you
it.
start, basically, as you do the one side, how much time is it till you get from Silver Lake down to Hopley? Approximate time?
One side, it probably, it's gonna be a couple weeks, on
Okay.
the side.
Couple weeks for each side?
Yep.
Depending on the weather.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
And then, are you guys working 4/10s, 5/8s, or it all depends on the weather?
We'll be working 5 days a week, they'll be putting in a little overtime, so we'll, yeah. And maybe an occasional Saturday if we're allowed, permitted.
And I think
That's
just like to have it done, so.
Yeah.
The sooner you
Go for
get
it.
started and get it done.
The mailboxes are out at the street on Arrowhead.
But they're so close to the
Yeah.
curb like they were here, so it was, I'm sure it had to be an issue there too.
Yeah,
We'll have to check into that.
Call Jim.
Mhm.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, well, that's good. We can do that.
Mhm.
I promise we'll follow through on that for you. We got roughly a couple, 2 to 3 weeks before you start, maybe.
Yep.
So, get right on it. What else can we answer for you folks?
I can't think of it.
Maybe a little dusty. Is there anything, depending on the rain, if we're gonna get a dry period, we may have new dust, so I apologize about that. There's probably nothing we really can do about that. If it rains 7 inches like we got Friday, you may have some issues too, so.
Where are you parking the equipment nightly? Is it gonna be on one side of the street?
Yep. Basically where we're working, the side we're working on. We have barrels and, or grabbers, cones strung along the entire project. We're working, we're down one side and flipping to the other.
That'll slow the scooters for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Because as they come off of Hopley on the first curve,
Yeah.
on the fifth house, and then the next curve, it's like a slalom race.
Yeah, Lamont.
Yes.
Yeah, we gotta do something about the
It
speeders.
just,
Hopley Avenue also.
Why don't you come out to Plymouth Street sometime?
yeah.
Well, we all know
I
who
always
the
tell
offenders
people,
are,
I
so.
always tell people, we have 90 miles of streets in the city. If we had 90 police officers, they would still have to do a whole mile on every shift. We would need 270 police officers to cover a single, yeah, so I know, it's tough.
On another note, why is Bucyrus known for not using turn signals? I guess the city is known for that. I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
They don't arrest.
It's ridiculous. They won't use their turn signal. I don't know, we used to have to stick our arm out the door, 20 below zero, and if you got caught not doing it, you got arrested.
Well, the driver's training, they told us we didn't have to.
I don't understand
Well,
it.
they don't put turn signals on certain vehicles. That's an option.
That's completely off the subject here, but I wanted to throw that out here.
Oh, I can give you the whole list.
It's ridiculous. And Bucyrus is known for that. That's a fact.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I
Pull
don't
a
know
camper
why.
down the road and see how many people do that.
I'm not saying I never forgot, but I really get upset with people because they won't do it.
You gotta let it go.
Yeah, I know, I try to just let it go, but
It's hard to do.
I have another question. After you do the lawn restoration, does somebody come back to make sure that it really took? I mean, there was a project several years back, but across the street, they came out, threw some grass seed, threw some straw down, left, never came back, and the homeowner was left, Roger, it was your house, or lawn that you didn't own it then, but the homeowner was left to make, the correction to that lawn, which was very, very sad.
I can speak on that a little bit, because they did it on Plymouth Street a few years ago. And I don't know, did you guys do Plymouth Street?
No.
Okay, good, because what I'm going to say, a lot of it has to do with the quality of the dirt that's put back in, So on Plymouth Street, they put, pretty bad dirt back in after putting the curves in. And so the grass seed was thrown in, and it came up, and then it took about 2 years for it to fill. It's really nice now, but it took about 2 years. So if we get some good dirt, some good seed, and then if you fertilize it, I know we had a lot of weeds that came up in ours, and I complained to the state, they just decided, you can't do anything about it. So,
Arrowhead, we had a few spots like that, and the contractor came back and fixed it and replanted more seed. And, well, for whatever reason, a couple spots it didn't take, but it did now. But RMH, I'm sure is going to come back if it's a problem. Typically, we don't let contractors come back if they don't do a good job.
These guys,
RMH has been great with us, they've been working with us since I've been here.
yeah, they're good
Whether it's
contractors.
curb or gutter or aprons or.
We'll,
Very good.
that's part of the reason, when we're done, we will put good topsoil in. We're gonna come through and hydroseed it. And with that hydroseed, we had pretty good luck, and especially in September. Generally, we're gonna have some good rains, some decent warm weather days where it'll germinate, so. Should be good time. Better than starting in June or July.
How about storm drops? The
Catch basins?
Yes.
Mhm.
Are they gonna be replaced, or?
I think we'll be looking at maybe adjusting them.
Yeah, we just adjust
I think we might repair them here and there or
Yeah.
something.
Yes.
So, they're not being replaced, but they'll be looked at, I'm sure. Do you have one that you're thinking about that's not
All of
looking
them.
good?
There's
They're all looking bad?
There's several.
There's
There's
several.
several.
Yeah, right in front of my house.
It flooded out really bad that
Yeah.
Friday that we had, I mean,
So,
it flooded really bad.
What do you say, you think they're blocked now?
We don't know. They brought that fancy looking truck out,
Sucked out the
and,
good stuff?
but it might last a week or two. You know, the first time it rains, and then after
Some
that.
of that, could be just, because the road's such in bad shape. When you get a rain, it probably takes all that small concrete.
Yeah.
I don't know what they sucked out of there, but that's my guess there.
Well, there's no base underneath Edgewood, as far as that
Yeah.
goes, because Morley put that in, and
And they only put about a 4-inch thick concrete in it. And then they brought about 4 or 5 of those big, 20-ton cement trucks through there, and it kind of crushed it to pieces. So it has no base under it at all.
Well, if you can hang in there for a couple months, it's gonna be a lot better.
Real fix.
We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, unless there's any other questions, appreciate you coming tonight. Appreciate all your comments, good questions, and, we're working with a couple top-notch folks, McKeever and Associates, and RMH. We've got a long history with them. We have complete trust in them, and
They have a neighbor that works at McKeever's, right?
Yeah, Isaac's one of the owners of McKeever's too, so
Oh,
he's
good.
got a little vested interest in this.
Go to his door.
They don't know who he is, so it doesn't matter.
where's he live at?
He lives on your street. That's a pretty good thing to have, so, but contact us.
They don't know who he is.
Unfortunately, we don't know who he is.
Oh, well, he's the one sitting right in front of you, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did
He
you
told us
promote
not to
this
say
one?
that.
What's that? My wife was complaining about it about 2 months ago, hitting the potholes. And I said, I'll say something to the city for you. I came back and I go, they said they'd rip it out for you.
Did you have that stash last time?
Or the two houses?
7 years.
Oh, yeah, I still. It's nice.
It was probably with a mask
I
on.
think I read your email, because I probably mentioned
The mask on.
You just got tired of hearing your wife.
Do better if I'm listening to you, right?
She only started noticing the bumps in front of the house here within about the last year.
All right, so, if anybody wants me to do any, I'll check on the mailboxes, let everybody know. And then we'll let everybody know about when it's getting ready to start, they'll let us know. And then, anything that we can think of in the meantime, just call the office here, contact Jeff or myself. And we're gonna check on your apron there and
Yeah.
so. Okay, good, good. Okay, what's your address?
1325 Bowser's,
You said 1325?
yes.